Most business owners believe that their biggest challenge is clarity. They assume that if they just had a little more information, a little more time, a slightly better strategy, the decision would finally become obvious. But something strange happens in real life because most of the times the decision is already clear. You already know the message. You already know the price. You already know the boundary. The decision itself usually isn't the difficult part. The difficult part is the moment right before it happens. Think about something simple. You write a message that needs to be direct. The sentence is clear. You read it once. It makes sense. Then, right before sending it, something tightens slightly. Your chest, your jaw. The room suddenly feels quieter and the message changes. Not dramatically, just slightly softer. A few extra sentence appears, a little more explanation. You press send and the moment moves on. Most people call that communication, but something small just happened. You adjusted the decision because the moment became uncomfortable. This shows up in other places too. You set a price for a project. The number made sense when you wrote it down. But during the conversation, the client pauses a little longer than expected. So you explain the price again. Add context, maybe soften the number slightly. The conversation continues. It feels productive. But again, the decision changed because the moment tightened. Or maybe you're about to give someone feedback. The message is clear in your head. You've thought about it all morning. Then the conversation begins. They are sitting across from you. You feel that same pressure again. And the sentence changes. Not completely, just softened enough to make the moment easier. Most people never notice these moments because nothing dramatic happens. No explosion, no visible mistake. Just small adjustments, small delays, small explanations. But when this repeats over months, something begins to shift. Decision speed slows. Authority softens. Prices becomes easier to negotiate. Teams begin waiting longer for direction. Not because the leader lacks intelligence, because pressure quietly starts shaping their decisions. And this is where most people misunderstand the problem. They think they need more clarity, more planning, more strategy. But hesitation rarely comes from confusion. It usually appears when the moment becomes uncomfortable, when the room gets quiet, when someone reacts, when the decision suddenly feels exposed. Let me ask you something quickly. Think about the last time you wrote a message that needed to be direct. Did you send it exactly as written, or did you just adjust the tone slightly first? Think about the last time you gave someone feedback. Did you say the sentence clearly, or did you add extra explanations to soften it? Or a price you quoted recently, did the number stay the same after the conversation started, or did it shift slightly once the moment tightened? These moments seem small, but they reveal something important. They show how you usually respond when pressure appears. Once you begin noticing this pattern, something interesting happens. You stop asking, "What should I do?" And you start noticing, "What happens to me when pressure appears?" Because that tightening moment is where execution usually breaks down. If you're being honest, a few situations probably came to your mind while watching this. A message you softened, a decision you delayed, a price you explained again. Those moments look harmless, but repeat often enough, hesitation becomes the pace of the business. 6 months later, decisions take longer. Authority feels thinner. Opportunities slows down. That's why I created something simple called the decision pressure diagnostic. It's a short set of real decision scenarios, nothing theoretical, just moments that shows how you usually respond when pressure appears. It takes about a minute, and it will reveal the pattern you tend to fall into when a moment tightens. Once you see the pattern clearly, it becomes much easier to interrupt it. You'll find the diagnostic linked to this video. Take it, see what shows up, and then decide what you want to do with that insight. Because most people don't lack clarity. They hesitate when pressure appears. And learning to move inside that moment changes everything.